The curse that kept two lovers apart for 50 years. In a village surrounded by golden savannas and whispers of ancestral spirits, love bloomed as pure as the first morning light. Adisa, a talented healer with wisdom beyond her years, tended to both the sick and the hopeful. Her remedies were said to carry the blessings of the ancestors, and her heart carried kindness for all who knew her. Jabari, a fearless hunter, moved with the grace of a lion across the wild landscape. His deep connection to the land and unwavering dedication made him a source of pride among the villagers. From the moment their paths crossed, Adisa and Jabari's spirits intertwined like the branches of the ancient baobab tree at the edge of their village. Their bond inspired songs around fires at dusk, stories passed down to children, and the blessing of even the eldest elders. It was a love that seemed destined to thrive for eternity. Yet, where there is light, shadow often follows. Amid the celebration of their love lived Zubri, a shaman carrying a weight many couldn't see, a heart poisoned with envy. Once deeply infatuated with Adisa, Zubri watched her bloom with Jabari, and his love soon turned into something darker. The village air buzzed with excitement on the night of Adisa and Jabari's engagement celebration. Under a star-strewn sky, villagers gathered to honor the couple, their laughter carried by the wind through the tall grasses. Adisa glowed, her joy lighting up the moonlit night, while Jabari stood tall by her side, his love evident in the way his eyes softened whenever he looked at her. But then, the drums faltered. Zubri stepped forward, his eyes lit with something far more menacing than the flicker of the fire. He raised his staff high, and the air changed, electric, foreboding. The celebratory mood turned somber as Zubri's voice ran out in anger. He denounced their love, claiming it was a mockery of the cosmic balance, though his pain ran far deeper than he revealed. Before the startled crowd, Zubri invoked a curse so devastating that it silenced even the bravest among the villagers. "You shall remain near," he declared, his voice trembling with anger, "but forever apart. Your words divided, your love untouchable." In a swirling wind of dust and despair, Adisa and Jabari found themselves suddenly separated by a veil of shimmering light. They could see each other, hear the sobs that escaped trembling lips, but not reach out, not touch, not hold. Their engagement night turned to heartbreak, and thus began a story of longing that stretched across decades. The following days were filled with grief and confusion. Jabari scoured the village archives for scrolls or whispers of a cure, while Adisa sought clarity in the vivid dreams guiding her silent nights. Zubri's curse bound them apart, yet not entirely away. They stood inches from each other, mere steps separated by an unseen and unbreakable barrier. Seasons rolled by. The village carried on with life, laughter, and feast, while Adisa and Jabari withered inside their invisible prisons. Time passed in a cruel, unyielding rhythm, years morphing into decades. Their shared moments, stolen from across the veil, became solace. They communicated in small ways. Adisa would sow flowers in the earth between their homes, and Jabari would carve tokens of their love into tree trunks visible to her eyes. But their isolation from the rest of the world gradually grew absolute. Their village faded, its people dispersing and elders passing on, leaving behind only tales of the cursed lovers and the ruins of what once was their home. 50 long years passed, and yet their spirits didn't surrender. It was in this fragile union of hope and pain that Adisa began seeing visions. The tree appeared vibrantly alive in her dreams, its roots encircling glowing embers of promise. Around the same time, Jabari began noticing strange carvings appearing on trees within his realm. Among them, one symbol repeated, the curved silhouette of the baobab tree. Though the world had grown bleak and grey for him after decades of loneliness, these markings filled him with a curiosity and warmth he hadn't felt in years. It became clear that this tree held the secret to breaking the curse. Adisa and Jabari dared to believe once more. Slowly, the pieces of an ancient prophecy began to emerge, a promise spoken by their ancestors many generations ago. Adisa followed her dreams as if they carried the voices of her ancestors. The path wasn't easy. She journeyed through landscapes of fire and mist, her faith tested by spirits whispering doubt. Each step closer to the baobab felt heavier than the last, the proximity of hope making her fears swell. Jabari's journey mirrored hers in its difficulty. He braved endless storms, treacherous cliffs, and howling winds, his resolve growing stronger with each obstacle vanquished. He carried no weapon but the promise of their love, a force more steadfast than time or cruelty. As the celestial alignment approached, a rare moment when the worlds briefly overlapped, Adisa and Jabari each found themselves standing beneath twin baobabs, one on each side of the veil yet perfectly aligned. Under the glowing light of the celestial alignment, Adisa and Jabari extended hands toward one another, the shimmering force field between them almost tangible. But before their hands could meet, a familiar shadow emerged. Zubri's spirit appeared, the bitterness of his past still clinging to him like shadows at dusk. "You cannot break what I have created," Zubri hissed. His spectral form towered between them, feeding off their pain. He forced them to relive memories of their separation, to feel the ache of the decades lost. But instead of succumbing to hatred, Adisa and Jabari looked upon Zubri with compassion. "Your pain doesn't need to be ours," Adisa whispered, an ancient sorrow in her voice. "Love isn't a prison, it's a freedom you denied yourself." Her words pierced through the veil and Zubri's form, unraveling the bitterness that bound his spirit. Slowly, his shadows faded into the light, taking with them the curse that had tied both Adisa and Jabari to grief. The invisible veil shimmered once more before dissolving entirely. For the first time in 50 long years, Adisa and Jabari stepped forward and embraced, their tears falling as freely as rain after a drought. Their souls no longer connected only in yearning but made whole in existence once more. Around them, the baobab trees radiated life, their ancient roots tangling together in unity as if celebrating the couple's triumph. Neither lover looked back at the years stolen from them. Instead, they found joy in the years that lay ahead, finally free, together at last. Their story, one of love that endured even through the greatest of trials, spread far beyond their now-forgotten village. It became part of the very fabric of African folklore, passed from lips to eager ears in villages across the land. The baobab tree at the heart of their tale became a symbol of unity and resilience, its roots seemingly carrying their love across generations. And so, the tale of Adisa and Jabari, the cause that kept two lovers apart for 50. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring African tales. Yes, endures, a beacon of hope and an eternal reminder of love's infinite power.